When you think of fall colors in the US, where do you think of? New York, Maine, Vermont? Well, let's say this, some of the best fall colors are in the northeast region of the US. After growing up my whole life in upstate New York, I always knew it was beautiful, but until I traveled all over the world, I never knew how special this region really was. Let's start out by discussing how to get around. Most of the places we're going to talk about are national parks or national forests, and these are the most protected and untouched lands in the US, which really help show the true beauty. Getting around these places isn't always easy, but when you're in places like Acadia National Park, they actually have a trolley service that can take you around, or multiple taxi services. But the best way to get around is to drive yourself with a rental car or by bringing your own car or truck. The whole trip I drove from New York to New Hampshire to Maine to Vermont, all by truck and towing a camper. This brings me to my next point, where to stay. All of these places are surrounded by small town USA. This honestly one of the best parts about the fall foliage trip is driving through all of these little towns and villages, experiencing the countryside lifestyle and seeing the little places along the way. So I don't know how this happened. I'm not very Google Maps savvy. I just put in my location and go. But it's taken us 107 miles of back roads all the way from New Hampshire, or all the way from Maine to Vermont, which is incredible because for me and Chris, we're in no rush anymore. Our route, our entire trip has changed, and it is phenomenal because it's just so spontaneous, and you just get to experience the back countries and the little small towns and the villages and the fall foliage as you're driving through the countryside. Look at this. These small towns do offer motels and hotels, but the best bet would be get an Airbnb. That gives you the opportunity to interact with locals and allow them to give you the inside knowledge on where to go to get the best views. If you use the link down in the description box below, you can actually get $20 off your first booking with Airbnb. If you have a camper, don't stress. There's tons of privately owned campgrounds and there's tons of KOAs around. Just make sure you book your KOA in advance because they do fill up very quickly, especially with COVID and everything happening right now. Everybody tends to be staying at KOAs. These KOAs are basically like the Disneyland of campgrounds. They have everything from pools, saunas, restaurants, showers, laundry mats. They have everything you could ever need. But if you're trying to do what we did and save money, you can definitely try using Boondockers Welcome. It's a $50 yearly membership fee, and it allows you to park in different locations all over the US and Canada for basically free. Some of the hosts require a $5 donation for electric, water, and Wi-Fi, but most of them don't. So you can contact the host, they'll approve your stay. We're in quite a dilemma right now. We're supposed to be using Boondockers.
Good news, guys. Boondockers just got back to me. We literally sent this request 2 minutes ago, and now we have a place to stay.
Which last night when the cop was knocking on our door, did not seem like we were going to have a place to stay.
Actually,
tonight.
dude, we got the next 2 nights.
We are set up in Maine. We're still using Boondockers Welcome. So this gentleman actually owns this property. He bought it 2 years ago for 20 grand. Look at this. House, barn, camper. And he said he just signed up for Boondockers a couple months ago, and he's had people here every single night. So one of the perks of using these specific sites is you get to see before you arrive, do they have electric? Do they allow dogs? Do they have water? And this guy has water and electric hookup for us. So it's really nice. You can take long showers. You don't have to worry about it. You can have your lights on. You don't have to buy gas for your generator. But right now, we're gonna get set up, cook us some breakfast. We got the flat iron here, we got the normal grill, some sausage, eggs, about to grub.
What I love most about this Boondockers Welcome is that you get to actually interact with the locals and get firsthand knowledge on what to do in the areas. We showed up here last night, had no idea what Belfast had to offer, but now we have a whole itinerary plan.
He's like, you have to go to Young's, you have to get the lobster rolls. He said it's better than most because they don't mix anything with the lobster, they just put butter on the rolls. So I think we're gonna cook breakfast, go work in town, and then come back and get some lobster. Now, one of the big problems with fall foliage is how to track the peak of the fall colors so you get the best possible experience in each location that you're going to. Now, if you go to the tourism website like I Love New York, they do offer a fall foliage tracker, but it's not always 100% accurate. If you want something a little more accurate, you can download an app called Leaf Peeper, or you can do what we did and stay on top of the dates and just make sure you show up a week or two early prior to the date that they suggest. I know a lot of people that actually flew into those locations on the expected date, and they were unfortunately late due to the cold front coming in prior to their arrival. It says it's at peak, what, next week?
Yeah, and it looks pretty peaking right now.
It looks like it's peaking now. Now let's get into the top places to see fall foliage in the northeastern region of the US. White Mountain. White Mountain National Forest was established in 1914 with about 7,000 acres, bought for only $13 an acre. Today, the area has expanded to over 800,000 acres in New Hampshire and western Maine. Now, this national forest actually doesn't require an entrance fee and it's not gated off, but they do require a parking fee. So, although there isn't an entrance fee, you do pay the money. So you do come up here, you take your envelope, and this is almost at every single stop. You walk over here, and you put in the deposit envelopes, and you slide it in. And now you paid your fee. With there being over 30 different stops within the park, you can expect to see tons of fall colors at every viewpoint and trailhead. Acadia National Park. Acadia was first established in July of 1916. But it wasn't until January 1929 that it officially was named Acadia National Park. Today it encompasses around 49,000 acres in 3 main areas. The park was huge and incredible to see the fall colors. From the hiking to driving through all of the state roads, you're encompassed with the most incredible fall colors. I would highly suggest Gorham Trail. It's easy to walk through the woods and you're rewarded with a really beautiful view. We have finished that trail. And Bruno's a little whooped. It's kind of hard for the dogs to climb on the rocks and stuff, but he did really well. It was his first trail. We never ever put him on a leash, like at my house. So
people of all shapes and sizes walking the trail, so
yeah,
it's very
like
easy.
55-year-old plus while hiking the trail. So
yeah, we even seen a couple like 3 to 4 year old kids. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But if you're an adrenaline seeker, you could try the Precipity Trail. Just make sure you check the weather prior to the hike because we were caught in a little bit of a storm. Oh, it is getting more and more intense and it is just pouring rain now. Woo! Oh my God. I've never been so happy in my life. It is just pouring rain right now.
That last 10 minutes was so fucking intense. I felt like Bear Grylls lost in the wild, except with no experience.
Route 100. Now, after doing research on Route 100, it was supposed to be one of the best places to see fall colors. And I think it has tons of potential. We did see tons of colors, but to be honest, I think we went to the wrong part of Route 100. No matter what, it was worth going. Seeing the colors and enjoying the incredible small town vibes was well worth every minute. Lake Placid, known for the Winter Olympics venue, outdoor activities, and tons of snow sports. Lake Placid is a small town right on the edge of the Adirondack Mountains, a beautiful mountain range covering over 5,000 square miles. Now, this is only 5 hours from my house and honestly one of the best places we went during the entire trip. It was my favorite place of all the stops we made, and there's tons of incredible trails ranging from super hard to very easy. There's something for everybody. Make sure you don't miss Orchard Trail or Whiteface. Belfast, located in Waldo County, Maine, with a population of 6,768. This was a very unexpected surprise. We originally came here for the lobster, but we were mind blown by the colors. Make sure you don't miss Young's Lobster Pound. It's right on the water and it has literally the best lobster I have ever had. Now, no matter how neat of an eater you are, you're gonna be picking up lobster with your fingers all around the plate because it just falls out. It just falls out of the actual lobster sandwich. It's so good. Incredible though.
If you come to Maine and you don't experience a lobster roll or the lobster in general,
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong and you're missing out. And you're never gonna die a happy person. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
All right, I don't know if I'm gonna say this one correctly. Lake Winnipesaukee is the largest lake in New Hampshire and is located on the foothills of White Mountain. This lake is surrounded by roads that are an incredible place to not only see fall colors, but spend a few days exploring the small towns. If you guys have any other places that I didn't put on the list that you would suggest to see fall colors within the US or anywhere in the world, make sure you let me know down below so that I can add them to the list for next year's trip.